Hey everybody, Ronor here, and today I'm going to showcase one of the strongest builds in the game right now, which also feels really refreshing after the melee rogue and therefore pretty fun to play. It is a rapid fire poison rogue. This build can literally one-shot everything in the current game, as you can see on the screen right now, due to unintentional mechanics that Blizzard probably overlooked. That way, the damage that this build can deliver is just completely outstanding thanks to a crazy amount of arrows you can shoot from one click. Those interactions could be patched at any moment, but until they fix it, this build will stay on top. Want to try it yourself or just interested in the way it works? Great! Let's look further into all mechanics that make this build so strong. So talking about main mechanics, it is pretty unusual. At the first glance, there shouldn't be any kind of interaction between those items, but it pretty much works. So, the most important part of the build is a Condemnation dagger, which gives us additional core skill damage when we have 3 combo points. It also gives us a chance to get additional combo points when we are attacking with our basic skills, which is pretty nice. And the second item should be a pants called Tibaults. They give us bonus damage when we are unstoppable, and 4 seconds after. We're also receiving additional resource when we are becoming unstoppable. That way, we can pretty much use the Vampiric power called Metamorphosis to evade and that way receive the unstoppable buff. Therefore, proccing Tibaults bonus as well. So how it works? When we are proccing Tibaults bonus, together with the Condemnation combo points bonus, we receive crazy amount of additional arrows for the rapid fire. That way our damage literally skyrockets, and we can destroy almost everything. So to proc this interaction, you can pretty much do a really simple exercise. You just need to stack your combo points, then blink and proc a Tibaults that will proc after evade with Metamorphosis, and then just pretty much click your main skill, Rapid Fire. Everything will be destroyed right after this. You're also staying at the maximum energy most of the time due to the Rapid Fire mechanics, so it should work really good. We are also using another unit called X-Fall Corroded Signet, which gives us a chance to erupt our damage over time with our lucky hit chance. It's a really good ring for all rogue builds right now, so try to use it if possible. It's not really working that great together with Tibaults and Condemnation, since there are pretty much no interaction, but it's a still great addition to our huge damage right here. So, talking about our skills, the situation is pretty simple. You can pretty much take Fundamental Puncture to apply Vulnerable easier, together with Puncture itself. In the core skills we are taking Rapid Fire, which is our main skill, and we are pretty much killing everything with it. We are taking Improved Rapid Fire to always stay on top in terms of energy, to proc our other aspects and receive additional damage. And hence Rapid Fire is pretty much a way. I'm taking only 1 point into Sturdy, since I think it's pretty much enough, but if in tier 100 runs you need more, feel free to respect 2 additional points right here. The Shadow Step is pretty much a basis, and you can use it together with Methodical Shadow Step to stun enemies. The Weapon Master is a really good passive, since that way we can receive additional critical strike damage with the crossbows. Moving forward, I'm using only 1 point into the Dark Shrouds, which is pretty much alright, together with countering Dark Shrouds to receive additional critical strike chance and make sure our damage goes up. Passives here are Exploit, 3 points, and Malice, 3 points as well. I'm using only 1 point into Shadow Imbuement, so we don't need a lot of them here. The most important part here is mixed Shadow Imbuement, since that way, if we are starting the fight with Shadow Imbuement, our next attack with Poison Imbuement will deal more damage, since all of them are non-physical. We are putting 5 points into Poison Imbuement, since it's the most important skill right here, and it should work really good. together with intense points imbuement and mixed poison imbuement for additional chances since we have lucky hit pretty much high. I'm also taking 3 points to the precision imbuement for critical strike chance, 3 to deadly venom since we are doing a lot of poisoning damage. I'm also taking debilitating toxins since I think it's pretty good in terms of surviving in the higher tiers dungeons, together with alchemical advantage since additional attack speed could come in handy. Right here, we are taking Alchemist Fortune, 3 points for more lucky hit chance, together with Innervation to stay on top in terms of energy, and Second Wind, which is pretty much alright. I'm also taking Haste, even considering they're always on top of energy and they are not really receiving attack speed bonus. I would say movement speed bonus is a pretty nice addition and should be used. You can drop it if you are moving fast enough already and pick anything else, for example Sturdy, instead. And the last passive is Victimize. I think this one is pretty important since we have a really huge lucky hit chance, we can pretty much attack enemies, and they're also always vulnerable. That way, Victimize can give us additional damage in the situations when we need it, and also some kind of AoE as well. So it should be helpful. Let's go to the Paragon board. So talking about our Paragon board, that should be pretty simple. Our first glyph is Efficacy, mostly for imbuement skill effects have 20% increased potency, which is absolutely amazing. I'm also taking Resilience to the left, Prime to the right, together with Lawless and Skillful. I'm exiting through the top, and the next board is Exploit Weakness. I honestly think Exploit Weakness works pretty good, since Victimize is one of the last builds that can pretty much still use Vulnerable pretty alright. I'm also taking Unassailable together with Exploit, Dosage, and Artifice right here. The glyph here is Infusion, since it's a pretty good one, and you need to level it the first since imbuement skill damage is really important. All our heavy hitters are always imbued, and that way we can showcase more damage. You can also get Cold Resilience right here, if you need additional cold resistance and life, but most of the time I'm trying to avoid it and spec more heavily into the damage. I'm exiting through the left, and the next board is No Witnesses. So the glyph here is Kenny. I think Kenny is a pretty nice one since it can combine non-physical damage, which we are pretty much doing with all imbued attacks, and a really nice additional bonus as well. I'm taking Knowledge together with Ruin and Training right here, and exiting through the top. The next board is Canning Stratagem, which is pretty good as well. I'm going to the left, taking Lawless, together with Finisher, and the glyph here is Exploit. I think Exploit works perfectly into Victimize build, which can pretty much give us a chance to make enemies vulnerable, and additional bonuses to the vulnerable damage itself, which stacks with Victimize. I'm also taking Dominant since core skill damage bonus is pretty nice right now, and exiting through the left, taking the last board. And the last board is Eldritch Bounty, which is amazing right now, and I think it should be in every rogue build. So I'm going up, using Ranger right here as a glyph, together with Potent and Dexterity around. I'm not really taking Dosage since I still think that 3 points for 10 Dexterity is kinda too much. I'm going to the left, taking Ready Supply, together with Imbuer, and what is the most important is Eldritch Bounty. That's pretty much it, and this is how the Paragon looks. I would say the most important glyph should be Effusion, and then we can go to Ranger, Canny, Exploit, and then Efficacy. We just need Efficacy for the additional bonus, so make sure you always have this one up. That's pretty much it, and we can move forward into looking into our aspects and items. So talking about our items and aspects, that should be pretty simple. First we need to use Condemnation together with Tibaults. I already showcased it at the start of the video, and those two are pretty much most important items in the whole build, since they're giving us unintentional interaction which give us a lot of damage. So make sure you always have both of them equipped. We're also using X-Fall Corroded Signet in terms of the ring, which is pretty nice as well. The next one should be Crossbow with the aspect of the Edgemaster. This is a really strong aspect, since we're always staying on top of energy and we can receive the bonus at all times. As the crossbow itself, you can look for all stats, dexterity, core skill damage, and some kind of additive conditional damage such as damage to poison, damage to distance, damage to close, and stuff like this. Moving forward, we are using the boots with aspect of the Ghost Walker. That way we will receive bonuses while we are unstoppable, and we can run around much faster. On the item itself, we can look forward for movement speed, resistances, and energy cost reduction. Tibaults wheels pretty much explained already, so gauntlets. At the gauntlets we're using aspect of accelerating. It's a really nice one since we need to attack faster, to stack our bonuses, and to pretty much move to the next rapid fire. At the item itself we are looking for attack speed, critical strike chance, ranks to rapid fire, and perfectly lucky hit chance, but as you can see I just don't have it right here. So moving forward, at the chest armor we are using aspect of disobedience. So this one is pretty much really important right now to make sure you always survive in tough situations. And it should pretty much work good. On the item itself we can go for resistances, damage reductions, and armor. Moving forward, at the helmet, we can have aspect of might. That way, since we are always using basic attack, we will receive 20% damage reduction at all times. So it's a really nice one as well. On the item itself, we need to roll ranks to poison imbuement together with cooldown reduction and total armor. Health will be appreciated as well, but you can get resistances instead if you don't have enough. At the amulet, we are using aspect of repeating. This one is pretty nice since it gives us a lot of clear, especially to clear like tier 100 dungeons and stuff like this. So I would say it works really good there. And at the amulet itself we need ranks to all imbuement skills, energy cost reduction, movement speed, and one last stat can pretty much differ, depends on what you have. On the last ring, we are using Ring of Corruption, since that way we'll get more potency for our imbuement skills when they are applied against vulnerable enemies. And all of our enemies are pretty much vulnerable. And at the item itself we can look for critical strike chance together with lucky hit chance, vulnerable damage, and stuff like this. The last things here should be aspect of the expectant at the sword. That way we can always receive bonus after basic skill attacks, and we're always attacking with basic skill to stack our combo points. So it's pretty important as well. And on the item itself, it goes in the same fashion, so it's all stats, dexterity, core skill damage, and vulnerable. Our specialization here is combo points, since that way we can pretty much use the interaction between the Tibaults wheel and our combo points. It's pretty important, so always have it up. So talking about our Vampiric Powers, we have a lot of potential changes right here. This is the main setup. The most important Vampiric power is Metamorphosis, since that way we can become unstoppable when we are evading and proc Tibaults wheel. Make sure you always have Metamorphosis up. To make it more smooth and for it to work with Metamorphosis a little better, you don't really need to level it up. So make sure you can leave it at the level 1, as you can see I got level 3 right here, and it's not really as good as level 1 is. Mostly because at the level 1 you're receiving lower duration of unstoppable, so you can blink again and receive additional resource, if it's needed. Moving forward, we are using the Ravenous for the attack speed bonus, which is like completely amazing. It's like 40% of our movement speed bonus, and 64% of the attack speed bonus overall. We're also using Prey on the Weak, since it's a really strong Vampiric power this season, and it's recommended in pretty much all the builds that can utilize vulnerable. We're also using Undying to pretty much stay full on health all the times, and it should work pretty alright. The last one should be Moonrise, since we're attacking with basic skill, we will always receive additional attack speed bonuses, and it should work pretty good. However, for tier 100 dungeons, you can pretty much swap the Moonrise and use Resilience instead. So overall, it should work better in this case. As you can see, pacts are pretty much aligned for it, and it could just work like that. However, if you want to one-shot bosses without any issue, you can swap Moonrise back for additional attack speed. So, is it a bug? The whole interaction. Will it be patched by Blizzard? The answer is pretty much obvious. I think right now we can definitely say that such interaction between the items is definitely not intended. And I think at some point Blizzard will do something about it. However, it's not biggest bug than, for example, Twisted Blades 1 or Barbarians 1 that pretty much gave them the chance to one-shot bosses as well. So I would say the build will stay like this at least for some time, and maybe even until the season 2 will end. Right now, we will just see how it will go and what Blizzard will do about it. And we can pretty much go and have fun with the build while it lasts. So this was a rapid fire rock build with combo points, which is mostly strong because of the really unusual interaction. If Blizzard will fix it, I will probably do another video with the same build and we will be able to see how it works exactly. But right now I would say Tibaults wheel is a really important part of the build and it should be used in all situations. Let's hope the fun will be able to continue and we will be able to see what future brings to us. Thank you very much for watching, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel for more Diablo 4 and Path to Exile content, and see you next time!